Chapter 19 to 24. After Ice slams his key ball into the ground, everything goes quiet for a few seconds before the planet starts rumbling and you can hear massive explosions in the distance. Then suddenly a huge pillar of lava shoots from beneath Ice, completely enveloping him, incinerating his corpse in the process. Shit. We have to get off this planet. Nala, grab on. Nala listens and jumps on my body before hissing. Nala, you're freezing cold, Sage. Ignoring her, I start flying in my parents' direction. While flying, I notice I am slowly getting weaker by the second from Ice's technique. Sage, damn, if I had time I would be able to get rid of his key still in my body within a few hours. At this rate, I will barely be able to use 5% of my power, and me being injured is going to reduce that even more. Using Akari again, I start flying even faster than before, while dodging some lava spewing from the planet. About 7 minutes later, I finally get to our cave home, and both of my parents are standing outside right next to a space pod. Seeing them there, I landed, stumbling from my legs, barely being able to move anymore. While trying to walk towards my parents, I can feel my frozen muscles breaking in my legs. Pushing through the pain, I was about to ask my parents what we should do next, when I am suddenly punched in the face, skidding across the ground. Not expecting to be attacked, I look up to find my mother in a fighting position. Getting angry at what she is doing right now, I yell at her. Sage, what the hell? Now is not the time, mother, we need to get off the planet. Saying that, I try to get back up when I am attacked again by my father. This time though I manage to defend myself. Looking ahead, I find both my mother and father are standing next to each other in fighting positions. Calming down a little, I ask them a question. Sage, what are you guys doing? Now is not the time for games. Onan, we know exactly what we are doing. After my father says that, they both flash to my right and left. Barely blocking their initial attacks, they start throwing kicks, punches, and even key attacks at me. Seeing how I am dodging most of their attacks and not fighting back, they get more aggressive than before. Sage, what are they doing at a time like this? If this continues for too long, my body will be paralyzed. Seeing how they are not talking to me at all, I decided to beat them up quickly and get this over with. Father flashes in front of me with mother behind me, seeing them go for kicks. I dodge both of them before firing key blasts, hitting them before they can move away. Zuxi, so you have finally decided to retaliate. Mother starts smiling when I start attacking, while father seems to be on guard. Seeing them still willing to fight, a smirk makes its way onto my face, although I'm unaware. Underscore 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 underscore. It's been about 2 minutes since my mother and father attacked me. Now I am even more injured than before, and I have been severely weakened by Ice's technique, but both father and mother are heavily injured. Sage, with how handicapped I am, this was actually a fun fight. About to charge at them, when suddenly my left leg won't move. Seeing this, I start panicking. Sage, shit. I got so engrossed in the fight that I forgot about my body's condition. Getting kicked in the face by mother, I tried to balance myself. About to block a key blast from father when one of my arms won't move, making me take some of the damage. Sensing mother behind me, I was about to turn my head around and shoot a fire blast from my mouth, when my neck didn't move at all. Tanking a kick from mother, making me fall to the ground face first, because I couldn't move my legs. Using my one remaining limb, I pushed my body onto my back, only to get hit with 2 key waves that completely enveloped me, making me go unconscious. Underscore 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 underscore. Zuxi, finally he is unconscious, but he won't be for long. We need to move quickly. Landing back on the ground, I look over to Nala hiding behind a tree. Zuxi - Nala, hurry and get over here and put some restraint on him, don't want him breaking the space pod. Nala, hearing what I said, slithered over to Sage and started writing in midair. The words she wrote had a pink glow to them, and when she finished they would sink into my son's body. Looking over to Onan, I see him already getting the space pod ready. About a minute later, Nala has finished her job and Onan has finished his. Walking over to Sage, I pick him up before setting him down in the space pod. Onan, seeing Sage in the space pod, inputs the coordinates to the nearest planet. With that done, I walk over to Nala, pick her up by the neck and throw her into the space pod as well. It might be a little tight, but whatever. Nala - W, what are you doing, Mrs. Zuxi? Onan - you're going with our son obviously. Nala - B, but shouldn't one of you go instead, your parents? Zuxi - of course we would like to go, but do you think me or Onan would fit in there with Sage? We don't have a flexible body like you, and even with that you barely fit too. Nala, hearing that, just stops talking. Feeling the planet shaking get even more intense, we decide it's time. Onan closes the door with both of them trapped inside. Onan - make sure to press this button when you're out of the planet's orbit, okay? Seeing her nod at Onan, we back away from the space pod. A few seconds later, we see Sage stir awake. He looks confused for a second before he tries to bust the door down. When he sees that he can't bust the door down, he stops before looking straight at us sadly. Looking at him, I smile, while Onan talks. Onan - don't look like that, you're making it more difficult on us. And besides, it's not like we will ever see each other again, who knows, maybe an afterlife does exist. Zuxi - ha ha ha. What he said, so stop looking like you're going to cry. I'm pretty sure I didn't raise a Saiyan crybaby. The space pod slowly starts floating up. Seeing our time is running out, we give him our final farewells. Onan - when you go out into the universe, make sure to have fun, and most importantly, don't marry a woman like your mother. They aren't as fun as you think. Punching my husband in the stomach. I look at Sage. Zuxi - make sure to become powerful, you have to show everyone what being a Saiyan really means. We are a warrior race, we fear nothing, not even death. Seeing Sage nod, I smile thinking about how powerful my son will become. Then the space pod starts floating higher and higher, before speeding out of our view. Smiling sadly, I look over to Onan, who seems to be feeling the same as me. Zuxi - one last fight, dear? Onan, hearing me, smiles while nodding. Onan - why not? After that, we charge at each and start our last battle. At least the last battle in this life, who knows? Underscore 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 underscore. Flying out of the planet's orbit, I face the ship around. While speeding away, the planet explodes. Seeing the planet explode, I close my eyes while Nala tries to comfort me. Nala - it'll be fine, it just takes time. I don't know when, but I fell back to sleep while being hugged by Nala. Underscore 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 underscore. Seeing Sage sad like that made me uncomfortable, but surprised because he rarely showed any emotion other than excitement for fighting or anger. Looking around, I found the button that Mr. Onan told me to press. Pressing the button, it released some gas that put me to sleep without even being able to react. In outer space, you can see the space pod that Sage and Nala are sleeping in. They are currently close to the coordinates that have been inputted into the space pod. A few days later, you can see a green planet in the distance that has many spaceships entering and exiting its atmosphere. The space pod continues getting closer to the planet before entering the planet's atmosphere. Underscore 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 beep entering atmosphere beep beep entering atmosphere beep. Waking up to the constant beeping, I try to move around when I'm suddenly hit with waves of pain from all over my body. Sage-ugh. Looking around, all I see is pink scales and barely any of my body. Finding Nala laying down, I wake her up so she can control the space pod to land. Sage-Nala. Wake up. Nala, give me 5 more minutes. Getting annoyed at her lackadaisical response, I yell right into her face. Sage, wake up. Nala, what happened? Oh well. I yelled so loud that not only did she wake up, she hit her head against the top of the space pod in the process. Sage, we made it to our destination now, just press that blue button and it will land on the ground, okay? Nala, okay. After she presses the button, we start falling to the planet. A few minutes later, we hit the ground, causing a small crater. Nala, seeing that we landed, presses the green button and the hatch is opened. Nala slithers out first, uncoiling herself in the process, her tail almost slapping my face. Nala, seeing as I'm too injured to move my body, wraps her tail around me and picks me up. Nala, let me help you, you haven't healed from the fight with ice. I snort in response and let her do what she wants. Looking around, finding nothing but vegetation, I use my ki sense over the planet. After using it, I notice, while the ki I sense are far weaker than what I'm used to, I can tell most of them are all bunched up together, as if there were a few giant groups. Sage, for this many different key signatures to be so closely grouped together, I'm willing to bet this place has intelligent life and they are somewhat advanced. Informing Nala of my theory of advanced intelligent life. Sage, be careful Nala, there seems to be intelligent life here. Nala, hearing what I said, stops for a second before she becomes happy. Nala, isn't that good? We might be able to find a place to live. That cave home wasn't good at all. Sage, it depends, are the inhabitants here friendly or not? But then again, it's not like it matters, everyone here is weak. If they try to give us problems, I can just kill them. Nala, *****, you can't just solve all your problems with killing and violence. Sage, that may be true, but I like to live by one of my favorite quotes. Violence, if it's not solving all your problems, you simply aren't using enough of it. Kenpachi Zaraki. Looking at Nala, who seems annoyed by my response, argues back. Nala, that's a stupid quote, who would actually believe in such a stupid quote? Sage, whatever, so where do you plan on taking us, or do you just want to stand in front of the space pod? Nala, I don't know what to do, I would like to explore, but what if we forget where the space pod is? Sage, don't worry about it, I have a scouter, with that, we can find where the space pod is located at. So go to the left if you want to find intelligent life or not. I don't care. Nala, hearing about intelligent life, hurriedly starts slithering to the left, along with her holding me up into the air with her tail. But what those two forgot to think about was if they were the only ones who knows they landed on the planet. Underscore 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 underscore. Somewhere far away from Sage and Nala, in a giant tower, a conversation about those two is taking place currently. Boss, what do you mean they didn't respond to our transmission? If they didn't, why were they not captured? The boss, angry at his subordinate's lack of competence, slams his fist down on his metal chair, crumpling it in the process. The subordinate who reported his failure to his boss tried to give more information. Subordinate-B boss, when they didn't respond to our transmission, I sent our men to capture their ship, but they moved so quickly that the ships didn't have time to capture them. The boss, hearing that, gets a little less angry, but still mad. He yells at him again. Boss, I don't care about your excuses. You have 1 week to find their whereabouts and capture them, and if you fail I will throw you into the gladiator pit. Now go. The subordinate, hearing his boss talking about getting sent to the gladiator pit, goes pale, before standing up and hurriedly leaving to capture them. Subordinate-Why yes boss. After leaving the room, he goes to a computer and presses some buttons, before a woman's face appears on the screen. Greeting him, the woman asks why they are being called. Woman- So why are you calling me Howard? Howard- A spaceship didn't accept our transmission and is now somewhere on the planet. I want you and your team to find them and capture them. Woman- That's fine, but it's going to cost you. Howard- Tisk, fine woman, you have always been greedy. Here's half the payment now. And I'm sending over the last known spot of the spaceship. Woman- To think you're so cheap that you only paid half when you know I have never failed, you make sad. Howard- Humph. It may be true you have never failed, but there's a first for everything. Woman- Whatever, I'll call you when I have completed the mission. After she says that, the screen blurs, before turning black. Howard- I just hope she can finish in time. Underscore 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 underscore. It's about to turn to nightfall, which is good timing considering Nala is exhausted. Sage - Nala, you're exhausted and it's night, just find somewhere open and quiet for us to rest the night. Nala - Sigh *, I guess you're right, we will get there tomorrow. Sensing a couple of key signatures somewhat close, I inform Nala. Sage - Nala, head towards the right, there's something close by. A few minutes later, we are directly in front of the key signatures I sensed earlier. Seeing that we arrived there, I start sniffing the air trying to smell if anything is close by. Sage, this place smells almost the same as those horned wolves I hunted before. This is probably a wolf den. As if this was all staged, several wolves came out of their den, looking at me and Nala like we were food. Nala, seeing the beasts, gets a little scared, and was about to run when I stopped her. Sage - Nala, turn around and let me face them. Nala - What? No. You're not fully healed yet. Sage - I don't need to be fully healed to defeat these little dogs. After saying that, Nala looks at me annoyed before turning around. Now that I'm facing the wolves, I open my palm, pointing at the wolves, and fire a ki blast at each of them. Of course, it's weak, I don't want my dinner to be vaporized into nothing. Sensing no life from them, I tell Nala. Sage - Nala, they're dead. Come on, let's rest in their den for tonight. Nala slithers past the wolf's corpse into the den, finding a spot to let me down. Setting me down, I try to put my back against the wall, clenching in pain from my torn muscles. Nala brings the corpses into the den, and she starts skinning them skillfully. Quite the scene, to find a former princess taking shelter in a den while skinning a corpse skillfully. Several minutes later, she finished the skinning and went outside to collect some firewood. Now that I am alone, I start thinking about my situation. Sage, I don't like this. I can't fight. I can't walk. I can't move. I can't do anything. And I hate it. To have to rely on someone else to get anything done, which makes me feel angry at myself. Sage, if I was stronger, I could have prevented this from happening to me. If I was stronger, I could have prevented the planet from exploding. If I was stronger, I could have saved my parents. Sage, if I don't want to ever feel this way again, I must become stronger, stronger than anything. While I was going through my inner monologue, Nala came back with some firewood. After putting them together, she looked at me expectantly. Seeing this, I just raised my finger and fired a tiny ki laser that set the wood on fire. Now that there is fire, she adds some more wood, making it almost the size of a bonfire. Putting the wolves next to the fire, we sit in silence, enjoying the peace. Several minutes later, Nala takes the food off the fire to not get burnt. She gives me a whole wolf while she cuts smaller pieces for her. Moving my arm in pain, I grab the wolf and start ripping pieces of meat off with my mouth to make it easier to eat. Several minutes later, I have finished 2 wolves, while Nala seems full off only 1 leg. Snuffing the fire out, I lay down about to go to sleep when Nala comes from behind and snuggles with me. Before I go to sleep, I whisper something to Nala, not knowing whether she heard me or not. Sage - thanks. In the middle of the forest is a group of people dressed in black clothes, with weapons and different equipment attached to their uniforms. Standing around a crater, they seem to be investigating what has happened here. At the bottom of the crater is a woman standing in front of a space pod, scanning the small ship. Coming down the crater, someone walks toward the woman at the bottom. Standing behind her, they report their findings to her. Soldier Point 1 - Captain, we have found a trail going into the forest from the left of the space pod. After saying that, Soldier Point 1 quietly stood behind her, waiting for further instructions. The captain, hearing the information, turns around and starts walking towards the left, following the trail, but not before ordering her team. Captain - tell everyone to get ready, they couldn't have gotten far with them leaving close to nightfall. If we finish this quickly, I might give you guys a bonus. The soldier, hearing the captain's order, gets slightly excited at the prospect of more money, and he quickly runs off to inform his team. Underscore 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 underscore. Opening my eyes, I am met with a little sunlight and a pink tail as always. Knowing it was Nala, I didn't even feel like waking her up, slowly trying to get out of that mess of a person. Finally, out, I start inspecting my body and checking how much I have healed. Sage, while I still feel pain from all over my body, I can actually move my body now. I should be fully healed up within another day or so. Finding Nala still asleep, I sit down and start my morning meditation. Curious about how good my ki control has gotten, I start lowering my ki to the best of my ability. Sage, I'm at 10% and that used to be my max, now let us see how much I have improved. Lowering my ki, I pass 9% with some difficulty and then 8% almost failing, and I finally stop at about 7%. Sage, I have had a 3% improvement in those years, honestly better than I thought. But I won't settle for just this, I want to get it to at least below 4%. Hearing a noise, I get broken out of my meditation state. Annoyed, I look at Nala, who has just woken up and interrupted my meditating session. Nala *****, I am fully rested. Now let's go find civilization and get a proper bed and clothes. Sage ***tsk fine whatever. I would like some better pants than what I'm wearing anyway, these are almost done for. Saying that, we both look down at my animal hide pants that have holes everywhere, and looks like the stitching that Nala did was going to come off. Yep, Nala created pants for me because she was always embarrassed that I only wore skirts with no underwear. So she made me some pants, which I didn't mind, so I wore them. Nala ***, not only pants, but you're also going to need a shirt as well. Hearing her say the word shirt made me look at her like she was crazy, before refusing her as if my life depended on it. Sage ***no. You will never catch me wearing a shirt, I would rather die than wear a shirt. Nala, listening to my rant, just looks at me as if I was a crazy person now. Ignoring her look, I stand up and walk out of the den, with Nala right behind me. Sage ***, since you wanted to go to civilization, you go first. With Nala slithering in front and me walking behind, we are getting closer to the key signatures I sensed yesterday. While walking, I sense several key signatures in the sky headed in our direction, but I don't bother with them. Thinking that they were just passing over us, and they were pathetically weak compared to me, even if I was currently injured. A couple of minutes later, I noticed that those key signatures from earlier have been staying in our vicinity even when walking. I was slightly curious about what they were doing, but I didn't care enough to go out of my way to find out. 5 minutes later, I can confirm that they are targeting us now. They are constantly staying a certain distance from our position, and we are walking. Sage, why are they following us? I haven't even killed anyone yet, whatever, it's their funeral anyway. Thinking that, I just shrugged my shoulders, ignoring our followers. underscore 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 underscore. There is a hover plane in the sky, currently following a monkey-like person along with a snake-like person, a weird combination. Soldier point 2-inch Captain, we have found the targets. The captain walks towards the big screen and looks at the targets. Now that the camera has zoomed in, she can get a good look at them. Looking at them, she can say that they look quite young. Captain **sigh** to think they were so young, that is unfortunate. But with their ship being built for only one person, I can keep the female and sell her on the black market for some good money. Captain **okay team, get ready, just because they are kids and one is injured doesn't mean we will be careless, anything could happen. Team **yes captain. With that, the place becomes busy with everyone grabbing their weapons and equipment. Underscore 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 underscore. Sage, so they have decided to attack us? Finally, now I can get some information on this planet or hopefully the sector of this universe. Stepping on Nala's tail, stopping her, she looks back confused. Nala -- why did you step on my tail? Sage -- we have guests arriving. Nala -- what guests? We have only been on this planet for a day and we already have people hunting us. Be honest, Sage, what did you do? Hearing Nala complain and then blame me for something I didn't do, I just snort at and ignore her. About a minute later, I see what looks like a mini heli-carrier, but they look far more advanced than what I can barely remember. Floating above the trees, a couple of ropes come out from the side before I see a door open and several people come sliding down the rope, circling us. Nala, seeing all this, gets a little distressed, not knowing what to do. A little bit later, we are completely surrounded and someone who looks like they are in charge comes up before us and starts talking. Vice Captain -- you two are under arrest for disobeying our planet's space order by not receiving our transmission. You will come with us forcefully or gently. Nala -- I think there is a misunderstanding, you see we never received a transmission. Nala says, trying to calm the situation down, but I know that it's not gonna happen. I mean, look at how many people they brought, that's not the number of people you bring for possible negotiation. And as if right on cue, the person talking took out a small weapon and pointed it at Nala. Vice Captain -- you will come with us whether yo -- Well, he would have pointed it at Nala if I didn't fire a key blast at him, disintegrating him along with everything he was wearing. Sage -- pathetic. After killing him, I noticed everyone raise and point their weapons at us about to fire. Seeing the aggressiveness, I was about to kill them all when the most powerful one here shouted and walked forward through the encirclement. Captain -- stop, hold your fire. When they heard the woman's orders, at least from the way she sounded I assumed that the leader was a female. They immediately put their weapons down, but I noticed some of them seemed to look at me hatefully. Shrugging, I look at the leader and sense her ki. I can tell that she is one of the strongest people on this planet. Her ki is far higher than almost everybody's I sensed when we first landed. Sage, if she is one of the strongest here, I'm curious what her power level is. Wanting to check her power level, I tap the scouter that I have been wearing and I watch as the numbers start rising before stopping. Target scanned, power level 4,680. Sage, so low? Well, what was I expecting? It's rare to find strong people. Now that the captain is standing in front of us, I thought of just killing them all and taking their loot. Sage, while that would be the quickest way to do things, I would prefer to have at least some basic info about this place. TSK, why does it have to be so complicated? Captain -- I must apologize for the rude behavior from before. Nala -- we accept your apology, me and my partner are just travelers, wanting to experience the beauty of nature. Captain I see, but we have gotten word of an unauthorized spaceship landing in this forest and you just happen to be in the area where the trail leads to. So I hope you can understand our situation. Nala of course, but I haven't seen or heard anybody in this forest. Hearing them talk about useless stuff, especially when we all know we are the people they are after, made me irritated by the second, and it doesn't help knowing I could kill them all and get this over with. Looking over to Nala, who seems to enjoy conversing with someone other than me. Sage Nala, how much longer are you going to continue to talk? We got things to do, you know? Nala, hearing me, just looks over at me with a blank face before she tells the captain that we have other things to do. Nala yes, I forgot. We have some errands to do, if you'll excuse us, please. Captain no worries, here is my card if you ever find anything related to the spaceship or if you have something you wanted taken care of. With that finally over, we continue walking with the soldiers making way, letting us pass through. While walking away, I hear one of the soldiers ask their captain. Soldier point 1 they killed the vice captain, are we just going to let them walk away? Captain you saw what that child did to him, the child's expression didn't even change when he did it. That's not his first time killing. If you want to avenge the vice captain, then go ahead, but note I will kick you out of the group. After that, they started climbing up some ladders to their hover plane. Underscore. It's been a couple of hours since getting stopped by that group, and I sense that we're pretty close to what I assume would be a city. A little bit later, we finally exit the forest and the first thing we see is a long line of hovering cars trying to get into a city. Nala, seeing the giant city surrounded by walls, gets really excited. She grabs my arm and slithers towards the city. But before we can get too close to the city, several cars start honking and yelling at us. Car point 1 honk honk no cutting line, get to the back. Car point 2 honk honk yeah, we have been forever and we are not about to let you cut in front of us. Car point 3 honk honk what they said. Hearing all these people I ignored them, but Nala seemed to want to get in that long line that I can't even see the end of. Sage Nala, we can just fly over the wall, why wait in some long ass line? Nala just looks at me like I'm stupid or something. Nala did you think you were the only one here that thought of that? This is a city, do you think they don't have security measures against people flying over the walls? When she says it like that, I guess she's right. Looking around, I try to come up with a way to sneak in, because I'm not waiting in that long ass line. That's when Nala starts slithering back towards the forest, dragging me with her, too. Annoyed at getting dragged everywhere like some child, I question her. Sage slow down woman, what are you doing? Nala I got a plan to get us in the city. Interested, I started paying attention to her. Sage so what's your plan? Nala you will fly us over the city, but I make us invisible so they can't track us. Agreeing to her plan, I watched her write some runes, and when she finished, they sank into our bodies before disappearing, leaving a light pink glow on where they sank into our skin. Looking back at her confused at why I can still see her, she answers first. Nala I tweaked the concealing rune a little bit so we could see each other. With that, Nala latches onto me, and I start flying to the city. A minute later, we are already in the city, and I look for a concealed place to land. Finding a dark alley, I fly down and land in it. Now that we have landed, Nala takes off the runes on our bodies, allowing us to be seen again. Now that we are visible again, we start to head to the open road, when a couple of thugs get in front of us, trying to rob us. Well, rob Nala, to be more specific. I have nothing but a scouter and some busted pants. But Nala's clothes make her look like a noble with her shiny earrings and rings she has. Thug point 1 give us the valuables lady or you'll get hurt. Thug point 2 yeah, what he said. We don't want to hurt you, so just be nice and hand us your clothes. Smiling at the great opportunity to finally get some money. Sage yes. Now we have money. Saying that, I walk over to the thugs, ignoring their warnings, and quickly beat them up. After robbing them of everything except their clothes, we managed to get some gold chains, silver chains, useless knives, and about 500 zeni in cash. Not knowing whether that is good or not, I hand most of the stuff to Nala, because again I don't have anywhere to put these. Nala ****. With that, we have officially entered the city that I don't even know the name of, but then again it's not like it matters. Walking out of the alley, we are surprised to find that the area is bustling with activity, shops placed right next to each other, people yelling at each other, and people in the street playing music with instruments. Wondering what type of place this is, I look over to Nala curious if she knows. Nala, do you know what type of place this is? Nala, I don't know if this place is called something different, but in my kingdom, we would call this place a bazaar. It's a place where anybody can start their own business without a permit or having to pay for a building. Well, we have money, let's find me some proper pants and find someplace to eat. Thinking about food, I start feeling hungry again. Since I have never been to a bazaar and with my terrible communication skills, I just followed Nala. While we are walking, I see Nala constantly getting pushed around by the crowd, sighing. I urge my ki to make an invisible cocoon around her. Now everybody hits my ki instead of her. Now that Nala isn't getting pushed around, she can finally slither around and find a clothing store. While walking, I came to notice many different kinds of species. I have seen red giants with 4 arms, differently colored goo people with a floating device above their heads, all the way to walking rocks on fire. Almost hitting Nala, who stopped in front of a clothing store. Nala turns around, gives me some money, and urges me to go find some clothes. Walking into the store, I notice it's very small, when someone calls me from deeper inside. Owner, hey, if you don't have any money just leave, alright. Ignoring the voice, I continue walking around until I find some simple cargo khaki pants, finally finding ones that fit me. I walk around until I find the place to pay. I give the cashier 20 zenny, the cost of the pants. Owner, so you did have some money, kid. Staring at him, which seems to make him feel a little nervous. With him taking the money, I leave the clothing store expecting to find Nala just outside. But surprise, she was missing. Sigh, why am I not surprised, with her used to being a princess and then suddenly spending 1 year on a planet with a bunch of Saiyans that only think about fighting. I'm sure she wants to do something interesting. Using my ki, I find her. She isn't too far away from here, walking through the crowd, while pushing people out of the way with my body. Catching up to Nala, I find that she seems to be browsing through some artifacts, or in my opinion, just some old junk. Walking up to her, I tap her shoulder. Nala, yes, Sage, you finally found me. What took you so long? Anyway, look at this. This is supposed to be some ancient text from over 30,000 years. Can you believe it? To think something so old is still intact till this day. Listening to her ramble on and on about history, I start daydreaming about what we are going to eat for lunch. Getting shaken out of my thoughts, I find Nala looking at me like something that can't be fixed. Sage, why are you looking at me like that? Nala, I don't know, maybe it's because you were drooling. You were thinking about food again, weren't you? Wiping the drool from my mouth, I avoid eye contact, knowing she was right. Sage, anyway, I have pants, so let's go find some food and then a place to stay. Nala, hearing the plan, puts down the artifact/junk, and with her in the lead, I follow from behind. Several minutes later, we are finally out of the crowded area and close to a road. Looking around, I found an advertisement for an all-you-can buffet. Smiling, I start walking in the direction where the advertisement is pointing, not even knowing whether Nala was following me, but she probably was. A couple of minutes later, we are standing in front of the restaurant. Walking in, we have an attendant telling us the payment methods. Attendant, hello, welcome to the Big Boys Buffet. May I ask how many people will be eating here? Sage, just us. Attendant, great, we have 2 different payment methods. The first one is that you pay every half hour, and you can eat as much as you want for a half hour. Our second option is you pay once and be able to eat as much as you want. And seeing as you're kids, the price will be halved. Sage, we will pay for the first option. Attendant, okay, that will cost 15 zenny per child. Handing her the zenny, me and Nala continue into the restaurant. Looking around, all I see is food and more food. Smiling at the amount of food, I leave Nala behind. Grabbing the biggest plate, which is about half my body size, I go around filling my plate until it starts wobbling. Sitting at some random table, I can feel a lot of gazes on me, but I ignore them and start eating quickly because I'm on a time limit. While I just finished about 1/4 of the food, Nala sits right next to me. Looking over at her while I'm still eating, I see she looks annoyed. Nala, you couldn't have waited for me. Sage, why, you still found me. After that little interaction, Nala just sighs before eating her own food. Seeing as she ignored me, I continued eating my food quicker than before. Sage, *burp, *, that was delicious, the best food I have ever eaten in my life. Nala dash that's because you were born stranded on a planet always eating bland food that is overcooked. Sage dash whatever, let's leave before they try to charge us for going over the time limit. Getting up, me and Nala leave the restaurant, seeing as it's still bright outside, we start looking around for places to rest before it gets dark. Underscore underscore underscore. Underscore underscore underscore. Laying in bed thinking about what we should do next, while Nala is currently taking a shower. Yeah, we found a hotel not long after leaving the restaurant. It may not be the best, but it's far better than what I have lived in. Checking my injuries, I find that they don't hurt as much as they did in the morning. Sage, my body should be fully healed tomorrow morning. I wonder how big of an increase in strength I'll get from my Zenkai. Hearing the shower turn off, I see Nala wearing a robe come out with her hair bundled up with a towel. Watching her jump on the other bed, I tell her about our situation. Sage dash you know you don't have to follow me anymore. I promised your mom that I would drop you off somewhere safe, and this is probably a pretty safe place compared to everywhere else. Nala dash humph. You say that, but you don't want to be alone, do you? I'm the only friend you have, and knowing your personality, I'm probably the only one you will ever have. Sage dash tsk fine, stay if you want. But what do we do now? Nala dash I don't know. I have only ever lived in my kingdom and never left my planet. So I am kinda interested in exploring the universe. What about you, Sage? Sage dash obviously to find stronger people, battle them and more training. Oh, also to taste better food, I want to taste the best food. Nala dash ha, all you think about is fighting and training. Sage dash and all you think about is runes and history. Nala dash whatever. I'm going to sleep. Good night, Sage. And with that, I fall asleep wondering what will be interesting tomorrow. Captain dash Howard, we have found the targets you requested. But we are abandoning the mission, here is all the money you sent us. Have a good day. Howard stared blankly at the computer screen, not believing what he just heard. After a second of calming down, he reads the information that she sent over to him. 2 targets. Both children. One resembles a monkey, and the other is a half-snake. Targets are very powerful. Suggests friendly contact or no contact at all. After he read the pathetic amount of information, he clicked on the attachment sent with the page and watched the video of Sage completely vaporizing the second in command. After Howard watched the video, his face is a little pale and he is sweating. Howard, this is too much for me to handle. I know, let me show this to the boss, since he is the vassal ruler of this planet, he should be the one to take charge and take the blame if things go south. Smiling at his genius plan, he takes the information and the video with him to show the boss. Arriving at the boss's office, he knocks on the door, a second later a grunt is heard. Hearing the grunt, Howard walks into the room, standing before his boss's desk. Boss dash what? Have you caught the trespassers? Howard dash no. But there is something special about them, and I believe that you should watch the video about them. Boss dash then what do I pay you for if you can't even do your job? I don't care about whether they are special or not. I want them arrested and then thrown into the gladiator pit. Now get out. Howard, hearing how arrogant his boss is, decides to just leave. Walking away, he just decides to follow his boss's orders even though his mind is telling them to leave those two alone. Howard ha. I hope this doesn't come back to bite me in the butt later. Underscore underscore underscore. Underscore underscore underscore. Sage dash mother, I can definitely eat more food than you can. Zuxi dash are you doubting my ability to eat more food than a child? Sage dash mf. You barely can eat a wolf in one sitting, and you think that's a lot? If you don't believe me, then let's have a battle. Whoever can eat the most is the winner. Onan dash what is this I'm hearing? A food battle, count me in, I haven't eaten dinner yet. Saying that, me and my parents collected all the cooked food we had for backup, and laid them out in front of us. Looking at the pile of food, all of our stomachs start growling in hunger. Smiling, I look over to my parents, and see them smile as well as enjoy this moment. Father, seeing as we are already decided, we will start the competition on the count of 3. Onan dash 3, 2, 1, go. Hearing him, I hurriedly reached my hand into the pile, grabbing anything my hand can touch, bringing my hand back. I was about to take a bite when... Underscore underscore underscore. Underscore underscore underscore. Waking up, I am panting and sweating all over my body. Looking around, I find Nala sleeping across from me in the other bed. Seeing where I am, I lay back down trying to calm down. Sage, that was all a dream, just a dream. Trying to take my mind away from the nightmare, I start my morning meditation to calm my mind. While meditating, I start checking my body for any injuries that might haven't healed yet. Sage, it seems I have fully healed, time to check my ki. Finding nothing wrong with my body, I transfer my focus to my ki, and the moment I do, I discover that my power level has increased more than I thought it would. Sage, amazing, to think my power increased by so much. Now I just have to gain control over the sudden increase in strength, but that shouldn't be a problem. A while later, I stop meditating, hearing Nala waking up. Looking over, I see her get out of bed before going to the bathroom. Several minutes later, Nala comes out of the bathroom fully clothed. This time she greets me. Nala - good morning, Sage. Following Nala out of the room, she turns around and blocks me from leaving. Nala - nope, I am not allowing you to leave this room before you clean yourself. And before you try to get out of this, you haven't taken a shower in at least 3 months. Looking at her, with her arms folded, looking like some kind of gatekeeper, I click my tongue. Walking into the bathroom, I look into the mirror. Looking at myself, I see there is no change in my appearance. Even after my fight with ice, there is no new scar on my body. Taking a shower real quick, after finishing, I use my ki to dry my fur before putting my pants back on. Walking out, I am surprised to find Nala is actually still here. Sage - to think you haven't run off somewhere. I have cleaned myself, so can we go now? Nala, seeing me come out, starts inspecting me with her eyes, before she continues slithering out of the room. In the lobby of the hotel now, I notice tons of key signatures just standing outside of the hotel. Curious, I walk outside of the hotel while Nala is at the register paying for the room. And the moment I do, tens of lasers is pointed at me. Speaker - you are under arrest. Put your hand in the air and turn around. Sage, this must be backup after that small team saw me kill the soldier easily. Nala must have heard the speaker because she walked out next. And the moment she did, the same thing happened to her, but I flashed in front of her and blocked most of the lasers. Nala - Sage, why are they pointing weapons at us? Sage - don't know, maybe because I killed that soldier yesterday? Speaker - this is your last warning. Put your hands in the air and turn around. Sage - it seems like our little tour of this place is being cut short. And I wanted to taste some more food. The person who is speaking through the speaker must have lost their patience, because they opened fire. Speaker - open fire. And with that, hundreds of lasers were shot toward us, and they kept hitting the key wall I put in front of us. Right when I was about to retaliate, Nala stopped me. Sage - what now? Nala - can you be careful to not kill any innocent, please? Sage - tsk. I never planned on killing innocents, I have my morals. With that, I look back at the group of people that have stopped firing, realizing they haven't done any damage to us. Seeing as they have stopped, I hold my arm out and launch several key blasts, killing almost everyone. Walking towards the person I didn't kill, the soldier starts panicking and starts shooting again. Letting them land on my body, I laugh when I see the soldier's expression go from hope to despair immediately. Grabbing them by the neck of their clothes, I bring my face close. Sage - you are going to answer my questions, you understand? If you want to support me, check out my Patreon at https://www.patreon.com/Kayashin. I tend to polls that decide important plot stuff in my P at Trian. Many thanks to my awesome patrons. Wilnet Duverne. Yami Tancho. Harold's Martinsons. If you liked the content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll stay here until next time.